Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and you are listening to the all new, the brand new, the world famous Marketing Movers and Shakers. Ladies and gentlemen, new title, new podcast. Who this? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, as I told you a couple weeks ago, we are going to be starting anew. We're going to be starting, you got to do new things when it comes to, when it comes to podcasting. Sometimes you got to shake it up. So now, change the title, Marketing Movers and Shakers. And ladies and gentlemen, what we will be doing, the goal of this podcast is to talk about talk about your products, your services, the things you need to do to get into the marketplace, really, make headway. Because listen, there's always gonna be, doesn't matter what you do, dog food, cat food, soda, doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody in the market with you. Okay. And so what we need to do is to get your marketing to where, you are making in the same direction as 100 other people. Because as we all know, sometimes it's like I saw yesterday. I saw a football game. This is the perfect example. Saw a football game yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. They all picked the same team to win. They all picked the Cowboys to win. They said, "Up, Cowboys win. Cowboys gonna win. Cowboys are gonna win." Okay, I thought to myself, they all picked the Cowboys. I know that Cowboys are gonna lose, and they lost. It was like about 25 points. It wasn't even close, So when everybody goes left, sometimes you need to go right. And then when it comes to marketing, when it comes to standing out, you need to do that sometimes. I know a lot of times people say, go on TikTok. Everybody's on TikTok now. Everybody's trying to be a celebrity on TikTok. Do you need to do it? Does it help? Do you need to be on there? Probably not. Do you need a website? Do you need an app? Of course, you need different things. But do you need to do the same things that everybody else is doing? No. So this show, we're going to talk about people who move the needle, people who use marketing, they use the media, they use, whether they send stuff in the mail, whether they tell you online, whether they get on TV all the time, does not matter. We're going to talk about people from Jesus to Trump to Walt Disney to, I see this, there's a vegan place. You think vegan places are boring. I see this place in Atlanta called Slutty Vegan, Hey, marketing works, okay? And so instead of, me telling you stories about, because I felt like the other pod, and we're going to talk about, online marketing moves, rest in peace. We're going to talk about that for 1 minute, and then that will be it. So I felt like it was getting bogged down. I just felt like it was the same old, same old. There was no growth. There was no, and I also just felt like it was a lot of me, 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 me. This show is not about me. This show is about you. This show is about what we can do to get you to grow, to get you to blossom, to get you to really hone in, get your marketing chops up, and really hit it big. Okay. And so that's what this show is going to be about. And today we have a very exciting show for you. We're going to talk about something that I saw in the news yesterday. And I was going to talk about this last week, but then it just emphasized that I should talk about it. And if you think about it, I was thinking about, there. I don't know if you know this or not, but they're having a presidential debates. I mean, they're having a race for Trump and Kamala Harris. It doesn't matter about your political views. I don't care about your political views. You should not care about mine. But if you want to know anything about marketing, you have to hand it to Trump. He's a marketing genius, and now he's getting shot at. Somebody shot at him once when he was in a rally in Pennsylvania, and now they have come back and they found another guy waiting in the bushes while he was golfing, and the guy was going to try to shoot him. And so I just thought about this. If you think about it on the bigger scale of things, Donald Trump does real estate, buying houses, fixing up buildings. It seems very mundane, but he has, worked his way into the media, branded his name as a luxury item, and we all you can do this as well. And you know, sometimes you sometimes we sometimes we under sometimes a lot of us we undercut ourselves when it comes to price because you think who's gonna buy for me if my price is high? But a lot of times what you don't think is you play yourself out and you try to be the cheapest person. And there's 100 other people trying to be the cheapest. And then you end up being Applebee's. And you don't want to be Applebee's. You don't want to be the Applebee's of your market of your business. If you're selling soap, you don't want to be the Applebee's of soap because some people will buy you on price. Some people will buy you on convenience. But they won't have a strong enough reason to keep buying from you. And at the end of the day, you want people to keep coming back. You want people to keep coming back. You want people to keep coming back. That's the name of the game. You want customers to come back on a regular basis. Okay? If you can get to the point where you have people looking for you when it comes to certain things and only you have hit the marketing home run. Okay, you have knocked it out of the park. That's what you want. I laugh, when I drove Uber a couple times, and I always laugh. And I drove Lyft a couple times, and I always laugh because people will say. I always laugh because people they'll say, "No, this is I'm in the Uber," and they say, "No, this is Lyft actually." But people, they just identify ride sharing services as Lyft. I mean, as Uber, even though they could be in the Lyft. It could say Lyft on the sign, but it's just marketing. I think about marketing, but if you think about this on a grand scale, Trump is a real estate fella who has turned himself into into a luxury. People think about him. They think about luxury. They think about quality. They think about big buildings. Think about Manhattan. And he took all of that and turned it into becoming president of the United States. There's been times that he's been down and out, but with his marketing abilities, he has worked himself back into money. He's worked himself back into the press. Always getting pressed, always staying in the press, and that's something that is what we call omnipresence. And I'm not here to teach you. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just here to share some facts with you. And I mean, it works. It is working for him, and he has turned to real estate. Because before in my youth, real estate, I never really gave it much thought. Now, more and more people, you have more and more real estate, quote unquote, experts, more and more real estate gurus. More people are trying to buy buildings. More people are trying to, get on TV as real estate moguls. You see it all the time. When I was a kid, we had my brother was in love with this guy named Carlton Sheets. He did real estate. He tried to show people that you can buy real estate with no money. And so I just feel like, from Trump, it spawned off a lot of different real estate people, real estate, quote unquote moguls. They do this and they do that. And so I'm telling you all this because Donald Trump is a marketing mover. And if you ever want to get into real estate, if you ever want to get into, how can I take something that seems so boring and so, mundane as buying properties, like this ain't Monopoly, it's cool when you play Monopoly and you get on Park Place and you buy Broadway and all that stuff, it's kind of fun for a minute, but then, it's like, all right, enough of this. But to do it day in and day out and to make it exciting and to make it into a real, sustainable, because this guy's been around for like 30 years, to make it sustainable and to now, run to turn all that into a third presidential nomination, trying to get assassinated twice, like, whatever his marketing prowess is second to none. You have to respect him for that. It doesn't matter if you don't. It doesn't matter if you don't like his politics. Marketing is not about feelings. It's about what you can do, how you can do it. You know what do you got to do to actually market yourself better and better and better, so you can outpace the competition. Because a lot of times, some products, your product might be 20 times better than somebody's. But without the marketing prowess, we'll never know. People will never know. Um, Eventually, we're going to talk about this guy. I read a book one time about Thomas Edison, and basically, he was just trying to invent stuff, but he was always getting his name in the press. Why? Marketing. And if you just, as I told you, this show, we're just going to go, marketing, marketing, marketing. We're not going to talk about, what all, oh, this, that, and the other. Marketing, marketing, marketing. What can you do to shake up the market? What can you do to shake up your marketing? And a lot of times, rule number one, when people go to the left, go to the right. Okay, you just have to dare to be different sometimes, and it's okay. It's okay. Okay, it is okay. You see, it is okay. You will survive, and so be like Trump. Okay, market, spin it, get the media. Contact the media. That's one thing you have to do. Step number one. First thing you have to do, get in touch with somebody. I always laugh when I think, I need to, I gotta do more reaching out, because you gotta do more. You gotta, marketing is about shaking hands and kissing babies. Because and I'm gonna say this once, and I'll probably say it a bunch of times. I've said it in the other version of the podcast. At the end of the day, man, we're all salesmen. We're all trying to sell. I'm trying to sell you to listen to this podcast. I have I have days, weeks, months, years to convince you why you should listen to this podcast. You are trying to convince somebody to go up the street for you and maybe get you something to eat, or you're trying to convince a kid to, hey, eat your vegetables, or you're trying to convince somebody to go on a date with you. But at the end of the day, if you boil it all down, we are all salesmen. Okay, don't be intimidated by the word salesman. Don't be icked out. It's not an ick if you're a salesman, because we are all salesmen. And so marketing is a lot about, you have to, you want the newspaper to cover you. You want a magazine to cover you. You have to sell them on why they should cover you. You have to sell them on why you should be featured in their magazine. It's just the way it is. And if we all forget about, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. Listen, if you really want to make some money, if you really want to make the money that you want to make and not BS around, you could play business person or you could be a business person. It's not a really in between. You're gonna play it or you're gonna be it. And so we have to sell ourselves to people. We have to sell ourselves to the public. We have to sell ourselves to the people that we want to market to. And so it's just the way it is. And Donald Trump has done a great job of selling himself to the banks, selling himself to other real estate people, selling himself to consumers that want to stay at his hotel. He has done a great job. Okay. And so I don't care who you're voting for coming November. One thing you must do is do a little studying on Donald Trump and see why his marketing techniques are so efficient and so why they work. How can a guy take something so boring as real estate and turn it into a whole, a presidential, a run at president, in the third term? The people love him. The Republicans, they have nominated him 3 times in a row. They love him. Okay. How do you get a group to love you that much, to buy from you, to sell from you? That is what this show is about. That is the goal of this show, to get everybody that will, some of you might get to that level of being that big, but the most important thing you need to do to begin with is to have a group. You You figure out, you figure out where you want to go, who you want to market to, and you get a group of people that want to buy from you all the time. You have it made. Listen, you don't have to become a billionaire to be financially happy. Okay, you do not have to be a billionaire. The goal is to work for yourself. The goal is to be able to do the things that you want to do. And so, the better you market yourself, the better off you will be. The better of a market the better marketing mover you become, the better off you will be. And so, study, learn, and apply yourself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be back on Wednesday with an all new episode of Marketing Movers. But until then, thank you for listening. My name is Tony Zano. This is episode 1. God bless. And as always, everybody, peace.